Barak Yahweh Allah. Shalom, righteous family. Welcome back to TRU-TALK. FBA, FBA. Yeah, come to the front. Yeah, come to the front. I got something I want to show y'all. And after I show y'all this, I'm gonna rap with you for a minute.
And then feel the need to say African American. I felt exactly how they did. I've been several countries in Africa and felt like, Black American. I'm proud. We've accomplished a great deal. Do they really feel like we're connected with? Until I went to Ghana, everything changed. Like what happened was I found out, I got roots in Ghana. That's my lineage. But I'm not one of those who just like is going to get on the bandwagon. I'm back in Mother Africa and all this type of stuff. But one thing that occurred to me, I knew that the bigger trek that started in Ghana, I realized that me telling myself that South Carolina was enough, oh, that's some bullshit. For me, I can only speak for me. But when I went back and the way I felt, man, I wish this for anybody Black in this country.
Y'all probably wondering why I'm crying. I've been watching Speed's change, and I'm seeing all the love that he's getting. He's in South Africa, and he's getting massive amount of love, and the way that he was treated in Europe was disgusting. But to see him be a Black man from the United States of African descent and be able to go back to the continent and be treated like a human by civilized African people, when we've been taught that Africa is primitive, that it's dangerous, don't go back, they have this, they have that, they don't want you, they don't like you. And to see an African American man with his stature go back to the motherland and be treated with so much respect. This is what our people fought for. This is what they fought for when they fought against Jim Crow and segregation. This is what the slave revolts were about. This is what it's always been about. Is to be able to go back home to a home that you've never been and be unapologetically Black and not have to think about being Black. Just being able to have your natural hair and your brown skin and not be judged and not be racially profiled and not be killed. I love the love that he is getting, and I love the love that all of my African American people are getting in the continent. And I know there's a lot of issues, I know there's a lot of things that need to be worked out, but I'm so proud. I'm so proud. And I love that for him, and I love that for all of my people that are over there. And I can't wait to hit the soil and experience it myself.
This woman is crying in tears. And she said something interesting. She said people say they don't like y'all, they don't want y'all. Don't go back over there, it's dangerous. They don't like y'all, they don't want y'all. I was talking to an older family member, like a older family member. And I mentioned Africa. And this family member, if not in their 60s, is going to be there in a couple of years. I can't imagine they in their early 60s. But this family member said, well, they don't like us anyway. And this is one of those family members that I know she's a colorist, that she prop light skin up. I'm just keep it like that. But she never been to Africa. And all those FBAs and black people that say Africa don't like us, they don't want us, they don't like us, they hate on us, they steal for us. None of them never been to Africa. I'm willing to put money on it. None of them never been to Africa. They might have met somebody from the country that was over here that they didn't get along with. But guess what? There's many black people, so-called FBAs, that I don't get along with. Do that mean all black people are bad? Am I going to start hating my own people because I don't get along with a lot of them? See how hypocritical and asinine thoughts is, this way of thinking? Because I look at it like this: who done the so-called black man in America the worst? Was it Africans or the so-called Caucasians? But you'll never hear these so-called house Negroes, FBAs, say, "Oh, don't go to Europe. Those white folks don't like us. They don't like us. They don't want nothing to do with us. They think us this way. They think us that way." They talk more about our brothers and sisters in the diaspora more than they talk about the Caucasian. Even in America, how we be treated. Why don't they tell people, "Oh, they gun us down in the street in America"? None of these white folks don't like it. All these white folks are like this. But as me, I know I say not every white person. I believe majority of them like that. And I believe even the ones that are not like that, they still got a little bit in their heart because this is the world that we grew up in. And this is America, we can be honest. But a lot of these same people will say we're not all white people. And they the one that treat us the worst. But they want us to think the biggest continent in the world, that got the more countries on that continent than any landmass on this world, that's full of, should I say, billions of people, maybe even trillions. I know for sure billions, that every last one of those billion people do not like us because they had a few run-ins with some Africans that talk smack to them, as if they never talk smack about African. Like I said, to be African growing up, I watched so-called African American call them African booty scratchers. Say you live in a hut and you do and just talk bad about them. So I mean, shouldn't they say, "Oh, these African Americans don't like us"? They think they better than us. Now this just shows how it shows two things. It shows how the brainwashing and the programming, how it worked amongst our people, how it divide our people, how it got our people despising one another. Because it's true, a lot of Americans think Africans don't like us, and a lot of Africans think Americans don't like them. They think that Americans are thugs, gangbangers, lazy, welfare queens. And guess what? The white man get paid off all of that. It's the white man that gave that image to Africa, and it's the white man that gave us the image to Africa, as if they're just primitive, ain't got no education, and ain't got just living in huts. Even though there's some parts of Africa that still like that, and there's nothing wrong with that, because those people living their best life, they land, their food, they're not missing nothing. But as I was talking to my uh, elder family member, I realized that this is passed down. This idea that Africa don't like us, just like colorists is passed down, and certain behaviors are passed down. Somehow, this idea that got us not proud of being Africa, don't want to be Africa. Especially, I can see just average Negroes that think they Native Americans, think they, you know, but it's shameful to see Hebrews, Israelites, jump on this hating Africa and we not African BS. The kingdom of Judah is in Africa. So you want to be called a foundation black America when America is what? A country. And Africa is what? A country. So you want to be called by a country America name, but you don't want to be called by the country African Africa, where our roots come from. See why I'm really ashamed of Hebrew Israelites because they should know better. We read in Deuteronomy and we see the curses, and curses is a perfect example of who the people are. But when we talk about evidence, we know in West Africa there was a kingdom called Judah. In Africa, we know that we was abducted, stolen, kidnapped, taken into captive from Africa. Not just in West Africa, but that was the main part, but South Africa, Middle Africa. So the idea that we are not the same and those are not our people. You think they got every Hebrew from the continent of Africa when we all look the same? And when you really study the Bible, Judah was scattered. No other tribe, just Judah. And I think Judah is mixed with Benjamin and Levite. I think Levite was everywhere, but Levite and Benjamin. So it never said Israel was scattered to the four corners, just Judah. So wouldn't it safe to say that the other tribes are still on the continent? The continent that is oppressed, that is been colonized. The country that if you would say how was black people treated in America, what country was treated the same way? Africa is the country old people that uh, have no desire. What does scripture say? People that's not desired, gather yourself together. How people don't desire Africa. They want to take the resources, the gold, but they are people that's not desired but special, chosen, and amazing and beautiful, but not the head, the tail, who's been oppressed by the same people that oppress us in America. These people over there in Africa speaking English and French because they've been colonized, just like we over here speaking English. You said, well, they in Africa, they should speak African, but majority of them speak French and English because they've been colonized on that continent. When you see the document of operating Moses and operating Solomon and Joshua, where the Hebrews that believed to be from the tribe of Dan was But that put another hole in that false face chart because we know the tribe of Dan is in Ethiopia is keeping the same practice as just as it was written. The 12 tribes went to another land to seeking to keep the law, not get rid of the law. So how can these people, other people that on that fake chart, be Israelites when they not keeping nothing of the law, not nothing? Well, the northern tribe left so they can keep the law, but Judah the one that got scattered, and of course we lost our inheritance along with Israel. But Israel, Judah got it worse. But we know Judah is the king tribe and gonna be the first to join this thing back together. But I say all that to say that Africa is proof that we Israelites. That continent hold proof, and the people that our DNA hold proof that we are Hebrews. They still got tribes that's practicing Hebrew customs. Now this video that I'm showing you, a high speed chart around Africa, he just went to an African village where the man said that we can have multiple wives, and that when the woman on her menstrual, she got to be separated. That's biblical. We know the Bible originated on the continent of Africa, that it's not a white man religion. And people that say that are ignorant and don't know what they're talking about. But it made me think about when the apostles went in front of the council because they was preaching Christ, and the Holy Spirit spoke through the one of the counselor men's there, and he said, leave these men alone. If it mount to nothing, if it's not of God, it's not gonna mount to nothing. But if it is of the Most High, then you're gonna find yourself fighting against God. And that's why I say to y'all FBAs, this is the Most High work. You can't stop it. You're on the wrong side of history. He's gonna gather the two sticks back together. Yes, it's prophesied. Judah ain't gonna vex Ephraim no more. And Ephraim ain't gonna envy Jacob no more. Or should I say the African the blacks in America ain't gonna vex and hurt and make mad the Africans by calling them names and saying y'all ain't got nothing, y'all trying to copy us, y'all wanna be our just vexing our brothers and sisters. And our brothers and sisters on the continent ain't gonna envy us no more. Cause they think we over here in America, we got it good. You can't stop prophecy. And I'm ashamed of y'all Israelites that wanna see people all that we've been through. Supposed to love ourselves, supposed to love our people. Love who you are. When you become an Israelite, you supposed to look at your people different. Even if they're a Hamite, because I know who I am now, I even look at a Hamite with love. Like this white supremacist mindset, why are we hating on Ham? Ham is a great people, a great kingdom. Egyptian, yeah, they had us in slavery, but Egyptian was a great kingdom. Gave plenty knowledge and wisdom to this world. I mean Egypt. What I said, the Egyptians. Again, I say if you read your Bible, you'll know the Most High got a covenant with Egypt and Cush also. But see I speed go over there and see those people treat him with love and welcome him. As many black people that I know, that all you gotta do is look. Stop looking for the bad stuff and look at the good stuff. Many black people that go there, they say how much they feel at home, how much the African welcome them and are friendly. But you got Negroes saying a country full of billion people, all these billion people hate us. We ain't got that. We ain't this Western mindset thinking that we more than we are. And to the fact that you want to be so attached to America that you'll name yourself foundational black Americans. Why would you want to be attached to a land that mistreated, enslaved your people? And if you say y'all Indians, how you want to be a part of a land that slaughtered the Indians? Why would you want to take on that title? I can be proud of what my ancestors done in this country and for this country. I can be proud of my ancestors because they endured, because they built America up. But I'm not proud of America. I don't take ownership of America. There's something greater. Our ancestors helped build up Egypt. Wherever we go, we gonna do good and help build up. That's the spirit of the Most High in our people. Because we think America's so great, we want a stronghold on America and get claim, not knowing this Babylon that is falling. Out of one mouth, we foundation Black America, and out of the other mouth, I can't wait to Babylon fall. Double-minded, unstable in all your ways, and it shows you don't have the Most High Spirit in you. Because it says to have the Most High Spirit, you're gonna love your brothers. Don't twist that and say you just talk about the Israelites. Love thy neighbor. What did Christ say? Who is thy neighbor? Who is my brother, my sister? Those who do the will of the Most High. I would slide with wicked Israelites and say, you, even though we doing against real, even though they this and that, they still Israel. That's my brother. Nah, he ain't my brother. Made the ground open and they fall through like those other Israelites did. Made the Most High send the snakes to bite them. Yeah, those Israelites. When Moses came out and said, hey, who's on the Most High side? Then take your sword and go kill who? Your brethren, the Israelites. On that type of timing. As the angel told Joseph, when he, I mean, Joshua, when he said, "Who's are you for us up against us?" The angel said, "Neither. I'm from the Most High. If the Most High for you, then I'm for you. If the Most High like f you, I'm f you. Straight up." But all I gotta say is this is the Most High doing. Cause prophecy can't be stopped. You're gonna have a couple of devices, white supremacists, uh, foolish, not really walking in the spirit, but can yell. I always tell y'all, man, when y'all get when y'all when somebody's always yelling and being animated, I just hope y'all had the spirit to see. I hope y'all had the spirit to see. It's emotional. It's fascinating. It what gets you. Sometimes you buy into what they saying, and you don't even realize what they saying is BS. You just excited that they saying in a certain type of way. But the spirit recognized the truth. Test the spirit with the spirit. Sometimes I get passionate, and I raise my voice, or you'll hear me change my tone. But I never come up here and perform for y'all. So that's all I gotta say. FBA. Wake up from the foolishness. We are from the continent of Africa. We are Hebrew Israelite from Africa. I know that ain't the original name, but that's the name we know by now. So yeah, we are Hebrew Israelites from the continent of Africa. We are Africans that were sold into captivity into the Americans, and we are spread it across the fourth corner in the diaspora. But as always, let Yah be true and every man a lie, including myself. Till next time, Shalom.